The $30 trillion global trading system is bracing for rough seas ahead. A wave of tariffs driven by the Trump administration is putting further pressure on an industry already feeling the strain from geopolitical tensions and sanctions, as well as supply chain constraints.
I'm a big believer in tariffs. I think tariffs are the most beautiful word. I think they're beautiful. It's going to make us rich.
Despite the headwinds, the global shipping industry has proven its flexibility. Investors continue to show confidence. Hapag-Lloyd, one of Europe's biggest shipping companies, is up 46% during the past year, while Maersk, another shipping giant, is up 16%. I asked the CEO of Hapag-Lloyd, Rolf Haben-Jansen, about this resilience.
I think what we've learned in shipping is that you just have to react on what's happening. But if we just try to look at the data that we can see at the moment, when you look at GDP predictions or also when you look at short-term bookings, then I think there is some reason to be cautiously optimistic.
During Trump's last presidency, tariffs had a limited impact. They failed to stem the U.S. trade deficit, which grew from 2.5% of U.S. GDP in 2016 to 3% in 2020, or significantly disrupt global shipping. However, analysts are warning a trade war escalation could be an issue for the industry.
We expect also trouble from the horizon for 2025 as potential tariff walls are built higher around the US, and also many other disruptions like port strike on the US East Coast, as well as the continued rerouting to avoid the Houthi rebels, will impact everyone working in global logistics for the coming year as well.
Hapag-Lloyd CEO Rolf Haben-Jansen remains cautiously optimistic as he sees economic growth being intact also in 2025, and he says that trade volumes didn't shrink during the first Trump administration.
We always see quite a lot of fluctuation in volume, sometimes because there are tariffs, or we've seen similar things, of course, around COVID, or when something happens on the geopolitical front. I think we typically look at the long-term trend, and there you still see that trade growth is pretty much aligned with GDP growth, or sometimes a little bit higher. The impact of the new U.S. administration is always difficult to predict. When we look back on the first Trump administration, then in the end we saw some changes in trade patterns, but overall global trade still continued to grow. And I actually am cautiously optimistic that it will be similar this time.
Here in the European shipping hub Hamburg, the mood is tense. However, players remain confident they can navigate this storm.